morning. Hey, what should grab our attention, if you will? What should we be really paying attention to? Well, Ecclesiastes 7:15-22 says this: I have seen everything in this meaningless life, including the death of good young people and the long life of wicked people. So don't be too good or too wise. Why destroy yourself? On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool. Why die before your time? Pay attention to these instructions, for anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes. One wise person is stronger than 10 leading citizens of a town. Not a single person on earth is always good and never sins. Don't eavesdrop on others. You may hear your servant curse you, for you know how often you yourself have cursed others. So as he begins to look at life and think through things, he comes to a couple of conclusions that really should be a focus for us. And one of them is that we need to fear God. Hebrews 12:28 and 29 says, since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us be thankful and please God by worshiping him with holy fear and awe. For our God is a devouring fire. So what does it mean to fear God? Well, for an unbeliever, it means be afraid. But for the believer, the fear of God is a reverence. It's the awe of God. It's being amazed by God. Some define it as even respecting God. And respect is definitely part of the concept of fearing God. It's more than that. It's this awe. It's reverence. A biblical fear of God includes understanding how much God hates sin, and fearing the judgment of sin, even in the life of a believer, because God is holy. And he addresses that here. He said, not a single person on earth is always good, never sins. That exactly lines up with what we see in the New Testament, Romans 3:23. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. See, sinfulness is a general characteristic of mankind. We're all guilty before God. We're sinners by our nature. And we're sinners because Adam passed down this condition to us that leads to personal sin and personal death. We all share the death sentence that Adam inherited or received, and we inherited. It's a sinful nature. It's passed down through the human race. Every child brings the sin nature into the world. Even before a child can be held accountable for personal sin, they are prone to disobey or to lie, to react, to act up. Every child has a sin nature. So because we know we sin, we fear God's holiness. And that's what drives us to repentance. That's what helps us obey day after day. It fills us with the joy that we can worship the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, because our lives are in the hands of a holy God. That grabs our attention. Have a great day.